Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making some DIY Easter home decors. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first one is two wooden Easter home decors. So this is something that you can put either on your shelf or anywhere around your house that you want to display anything, like any decorations. This would be really cute to add to. So I'm only showing you one, but I do have two pieces that I'm doing, and I sand them both down with the sanding block. I get these at the dollar store. They are pretty nice pieces. They're pretty thick so they can stand alone. You don't have to add anything to the back to help them stand up. They do stand alone. I usually like take my time picking them out because I like them to be flat. Some of them are kind of like curved, I guess from sitting there so long, or maybe they just catch the shape or whatever. But I usually try to get the ones that are like nice and flat. So I seen this design on Hobby Lobby's website, but I don't have a Hobby Lobby close to me. Hobby Lobby is like, I would say, a half hour to a 45-minute drive, depending on traffic. But I saw the design. I thought it was really cute. But I had the piece of wood. I used my Cricut and printed out something similar to it, and I put it on the first piece of wood. So after I put that down, I come with my white paint and I paint over it because I'm gonna peel this off after the paint dries and after I sand everything down. So I paint this on the sides and on the top. I don't paint the bottom piece that is gonna be like not showing. But yeah, I just paint the top and the sides, and then of course the front. And then I do the same thing with the second one, but the other one's gonna be standing differently, like in vertical. So I grab my sand block and I sand like the corners of it, like over where the letters are, like right around there, just to have it like some wood showing because I wanted some wood to show. I do that with both the pieces. So after I'm done sanding it down, I wipe everything down and I use um, my weeding tool to take the letters out. And once I'm done taking out the letters and the thorn crown, then I come in with my wood stain and I stain any wood that is showing. So of course, the letter is going to be showing, the thorn crown is going to be showing, as well as the edges of the wood that I did sand down. Now, I paint over everything. Um, Once everything is like painted over, then I let that dry. Once it's dry, you'll see how that turns out. But I do go back with like a cloth, like a wet cloth, just to wipe down any extra wood stain that's there. But it does, just so you can see the white a little, because the white is not going to be white. It's going to be like a really light tan color, like a light brown color. But it still looks nice. But you see how that looks. Okay, so for my second piece of wood, I printed out Carrot Company ink and Fresh Carrots Daily. Um, I'm using these carrots from the dollar store and I'm gluing them in place with the hot glue gun. Now you can put anything you want on this piece. You can use the carrots, and you can put fresh rabbit food or I don't know, anything you like on here. But I thought these look really cute. It does still stand. The carrots aren't that heavy, so this doesn't pull the wood down when it's standing up. But this one actually was pretty easy. Both of these were actually really easy to make. As long as you have everything you need, and you put it in place, it actually is pretty quick to make. The only thing is just wait time, but on to the next one. Okay, so this second one is two wall arts that say he is risen. So the first one, um, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was gonna do something completely different with this when I started to paint this in white. And I don't know, I guess I just felt like painting. I don't know what happened. So once the white paint dry, instead of me using what I had printed from, with my Cricut, I ended up just going a whole total different direction with this. So I ended up just painting everything on this sign. So I did the sky and I added some clouds. I went and got my brown paint and I made the hill. Um, I started to color that in partially. That didn't get completely painted because there's green is gonna go in the bottom. Um, and then I went and I started to make the crosses that are on the hill. And I had left some part with I see. Let me just paint that in blue. So I went back and painted that blue. Um, then I went with the green paints because I didn't paint the whole complete bottom in brown because I knew I wanted to add some grass at the bottom part. Don't know why I just went and started painting everything. I don't know, instead of using what I was going to use with my Cricut, I said, let me just paint. I just felt like painting. So I painted everything on here. And then I went back and added like some lighter green. And I do add flowers to this, but I didn't add the flowers until I put it on the wall and I felt like it was still missing something. So I did go back and I added some flowers. But after that, I then hung it back up. But you'll see what it looks like after it's done, like in hanging on the wall. Once I was done writing this message, he is risen, I then go and I put the twine that came with the sign. I put it back on and I tie it in the back before I can hang it up, and then I move on to the next one. So the next craft is a frame. I believe it was I think this is like it says 5x7. You put like a 5x7 on there, but the actual sign is a little bit bigger than a 5x7. Completely forgot what size it was. But once I took everything off, I grabbed my pliers and I pull those little tabs out because I'm not going to need them. But I do add some hot glue because these are frames from the dollar store, and sometimes if you handle it too hard, like they will break. So I put some hot glue on all the corners just to reinforce it that it won't break when I'm trying to do what I was doing. So I grabbed my burlap ribbon and I glue it at the bottom, and then I do horizontal and vertical because I am doing the cross, but I do the top, like the long one first, and then I do the short one on the sides. But I glue the bottom. I wanted to make sure that it was reinforced on one side, and then I put some glue on the top, and then I do at the bottom. Now this is the back side, so I wanted to make sure that I overlapped that one because I didn't want to go too close to the end, and then if the hot glue is like, it's hot and if you don't do it correctly and you press too hard on it and you don't have your little thing on, then you can burn your fingers because it's happened to me before. So once I was done with that and I overlapped it to make sure I had enough on there, I used the scissors to cut off like any extra that was left. Then I grabbed some twine and I tighten it up in the middle. So I do like an X in the middle, but in the back is where it's like crisscross, like on the sides, just to have it like pinned in pretty nice. But you'll see how that turns out when I'm done tying it in place. And I do it like a pretty nice tight, but I didn't want to do it too tight because I didn't want the frame to break or fall or, you know. So I put it as tight as I could, but it still looked nice the way it turned out. And then I grabbed my transfer tape and then I put "He is risen" on the bottom side. Now after I had printed these out, I thought maybe I should have just did it better with the iron on, and I could have just ironed it onto the burlap. Probably would have been easier. But then I grabbed some more twine and I did like a hook so I can hang this on the wall. But you can see how that turns out. I think it turned out really cute. This was also just as easy. Like I said, I chose to paint mine. I didn't have to. You don't have to either. But yeah, that's how it looks like with the flowers. On to the next one. Okay, so for our last crafts, I'm making two Easter floral arrangements. So this is the one bucket. I put the styrofoam. This is the square styrofoam that I get from the dollar store. And then I grabbed the bunny ears. Now, I had to cut the bottom of the bunny ears only because when I put them in, I think it was sticking up a little too much. So I didn't want them to stick up like too much, but I didn't want them to be hidden either. So I do cut the bottom off just a little bit. They're pretty easy to break, and then I have to use the scissors, of course. But once I put it in place where I want it and how much I want them to stick out. I then grab my flowers and I cut out as much as I need. So I had like two of each color, which was perfect. Because I have like the pink ones and it's like a beige color, and then I have some purple and blue ones, which were perfect. I had two of each. I arranged them on here really nice. So I want the bunny ears to stick out more, so I push the flowers in a little bit more. And then I have like some of the lavender and I add those on there as well. And then on the back I have like maybe some blue. I think it's a blue and the white one. Blue, white, and purple that I add on the back. But that one actually turned out really cute. Like I said, these are easy things. I have these on hand and I just wanted to do something with flowers, so I did that because, you know, it's spring. Even though outside doesn't really feel like spring, I still wanted to be a little bit more spring in the house. So once I'm done with this one, I move on to the next floral arrangement. Okay, so for our final craft, I'm using the floral foam and I'm putting a piece that I already had from previous craft, putting that at the bottom. I'm gluing that with the hot glue gun, and then I'm using another piece on top. Now this is one of the pieces from the 4-pack that I said before has 4 pre-cut pieces of the floral foam, and then I glue those 2 pieces together, glue them inside the bucket, and then I grab my flowers and my eggs. Now these eggs are just like the ones that I stacked up last week. I just posted the video for that last week, and they're actually really, really nice, but they're, you know, they're smaller. But I like the way they look. But I put them in here. I had some standing up. I used 2 of each color, and the other ones are laying like in an angle, so they're like sticking out of the bucket, so you can see. And then I used my flowers. I think I used all my flowers to finish this one off. But I used the flowers. I put them all in place. And then I have the basket filler, the green one. I felt like this green was a lot more vibrant and it looked really pretty. So I used that in the bottom of this bucket of floral arrangement because I felt like, I don't know, it just brought it out, and you can see a little bit in there anyway. The grass from the Easter baskets, I didn't like how the green looked. But then I add the last eggs that I have, which is like the glitter eggs. They also come in a stick that gave it the finishing touches to complete this one. So this one is done. If you stayed to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. I have more spring and home decor to come next week. So till the next one, bye.